Hi, this is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection and stampartconnection.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my Wednesday Live here on my YouTube channel. I come to you every Wednesday with some updates. I'm really excited because this is the first a couple of days after the launch of the new mini catalog. So I'm kind of excited about that. And what I'd like, and I'm also excited about the fact that we have a new website, which I think you will really, really like. And I want to kind of walk through that a little bit and show you some of the things that you can expect. Hey, hi, Jackie. Hi, Monica. Thank you for joining me. I want to go ahead and roll into the new mini catalog. I'm going to share my screen with you because I think there's there are some pretty neat things that you can see as a result. And I think hopefully this is the screen that I'm sharing right here. And here is the new mini catalog, the new storefront. Okay, so here is the new website that Stampin' Up! Came up with. And I wanted to share this with you because there's some really neat things that you can enjoy that basically kind of Stampin' Up! Finally kind of listened to some of us demonstrators. One of the things is that if you kind of go down, okay, this is my website. You can see that in my website, I have right here all the events for the month of August. So here's my weekly live, which I have on my monthly calendar so that you can know what I'm doing. I have my fancy fold workshop on the 15th, and we have our cards and tags box workshop, which is, I've actually gotten some other registrations, as well as this workshop is free to my customers who put in an order this month. So there's a couple of you out there that have put in some very, very generous orders. I'm so happy, and I'm glad that you're really getting some good products that you're going to be able to enjoy all your stuff. So this is where you can find me. I also want to show you, if you want to shop, one of the things that this does is that you can shop by color if you want to shop by color. I can go up here. If I go up here and I say, find me real red, it will search and it will pull up everything that it offers in the catalog that's real red. So if you wanted to look at things by color. The other thing that I really like about it is that when you look at the suites, and let's go over here and do shop products, and we're going to shop products by product suites. It lays out all the product suites. And here's my favorite suite. This is the suite I want to look at right here. Point setup place. I think some of the graphics are really improved, but it gives you everything that's in the suite, as well as it tells you the color collections for the inks that are used. It provides you color swatches. It gives you prices. So if you can kind of like, based on your budget, you only want to kind of go within a certain range, it will show you what products are that price. It tells you what catalog you can find it in, the languages it offers. It's a photopolymer stamp set, and it will also show you, not only do you get images and sentiments, but it tells you that it's a two-step technique stamp set. There you go, 2 steps. So you kind of get an idea of what you can expect from this suite. And this is one of the suites that I want to feature in our box and tags workshop that we're going to be having on August 22nd. The other thing that's really nice about this set suite is that you not only have a nice shopping cart over here, but if you have things that you have found in your shopping cart, you can share a link and you can send that link to someone. Let's say there's some products that you want that you would like to get for your birthday. You can send the link to a family member, to your husband, and say, hey, here are the products that I've been looking at that are in my shopping cart with Stamping Up, and these are the things that I'd like to get. And they can go ahead and they know what they are. You send the product link and they can kind of come up. The other neat thing about this new website is that, as you know, when you reach over $160, I think, you start accruing stamping rewards. Well, what this new website does is that it allows you that when you've got stamping rewards to use, it puts it right against your balance so you can start ordering products and then it counts down. So you don't have to wait till you go to the next page. It tells you what rewards. Then you got to guess, how much do I need to earn, or how much do I have to spend all my stamping rewards. So that is another really good kind of a feature that I wanted to make sure that you were all aware of. So, yes, I like the list feature too. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you. Now, another important part for those of you that have used this already, please go back and fill out feedback so that we can continue to improve it, because we're really interested in what you as customers think about it. And I would certainly be interested in it. And always, keep me shopping with Kat. Yay, shopping with Kat. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing that, and we're going to come up with a couple of techniques, and we're going to look at some of these different images that I created. Now, this is called the two techniques. These are the two techniques I want to go through tonight. So this is doing a wreath, building a wreath using your Stamparatus. So that's going to be our second one. Our first one, though, is called depth of field. This takes any number of stamps, and they can be linked together, and you're using several colors. You want to kind of go, and I'm going to go with you want to start with a gray, kind of a gray background, and then you want to go with a medium color or a contrasting color. In this case, I'm going to use Pretty Peacock, and then you want to go with like a bold color. So these are the colors I'm going to use, but I want to kind of show you here that I used, I did the whale using the same colors I've just chosen. I also chose several different images and put them all together. And this is kind of a neat image. And the reason why this is a good technique, and this is why you need to know this technique, because this DSP comes in only 6x6. If you want to build a project that's going to need DSP or a background, you want to build a bag, you want a box, you want to cover, you're doing the lid of a box, you need to come up with a technique that can build you or create some very pretty DSP, a DSP look using your stamps and your inks. So that's why this is an important technique that you can use for those times when the DSP that is offered in the catalog is not a 12-inch DSP, and you may need it for a project. So we're just simply going to get our card stock, and I'm going to take my stamps, and the one that I like is I'm going to create. I really like this one here. So I think that's going to be my image that I want to use. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get my stamping piercing mat because I'm using photopolymer. You always want to use that. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to choose my gray, and I'm using smoky slate. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to test my stamp. Make sure I have enough ink. Okay. And I'm just going to stamp it across my paper. And I want to leave plenty of room. I'm not trying to cover the cardstock. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab my wipe. And we're going to pick another one. And I think I'm going to pick the turtle. Where's my Mr. Turtle? Here it is. I'm going to pick Mr. Turtle, and I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to grab Mr. Turtle, and Mr. Turtle is going to go, again, I'm just going to stamp him like so. Again, I'm not trying to cover the paper, but I am trying to spread the color out. And then my next one is going to be my jellyfish, and I think I'm going to use my pretty peacock for that. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp my jellyfish kind of between the places that I don't have anything else. And like that. Okay, and then finally, and you can kind of see it doesn't have to be perfect. And then finally what I do, or what I like to do, just to ensure that I have just a little bit more texture, I'm going to take these itty bitty little fishes that come with this set, and I'm going to take mint macaron, and I'm going to stamp them, and I'm going to kind of fill in some of these spaces here, and that just kind of gives fills in all the blanks and make sure that your eye goes all over the paper. So I'm covering it all over and it's going down. So there you go. So there is a DSP we created, and you can do a large sheet. You can do a large sheet just simply using 3 colors. You always want to start with a gray color. Your gray color and your largest stamp should be kind of like your background. And then you're going to build up from there. From the gray color, pick a darker color, then pick about the same contrasting color. And then if you want, you can, and you have a smaller stamp, you can kind of use as a kind of in between your spaces. This one here, if you look closely at this one, I did the same thing. It was the same image, but I used the bubbles in between my my whale. I did the same thing, and this is simply just the seaweed. I used the stamp off technique using the shaded spruce, some granny apple green, and here's my gray. And I just used stamp off technique and kind of filled it up. There's actually 2 sizes of stamps here. There's a large stamp and there's a smaller stamp. If you remember in this stamp set, you got 2 sizes. And then I just filled in the middle with bubbles, so it just kind of looks kind of different. And this one is much like the whale one, where I just used This was actually my first one, and I think I need a little bit more contrast. I think this would look a lot better if I had stamped with a really dark color like Night of Navy to kind of really set that out, because I believe that I used Misty Moonlight, so there wasn't very much contrast, but I still think it's pretty. And then I used the little fish in the background. Okay, so that's our technique called the depth of field technique on how you can create some interesting designs, background stamps for your card making or for any kind of paper crafting that you may have that may not be, if you don't have DSP that is greater than 6 inches and you need much larger cardstock, or you don't have the DSP and you simply want to create your own backgrounds, you can be creative like that. Okay. So I've been kind of looking at ways that some stampers make wreaths, because there are some products out there that you can buy to, it's called a wreath builder, and I won't say who has one. But I saw this this technique demonstrated, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it. So I sat down, and this was my first attempt here. And then I tried to make kind of like another wreath. It was a little bit short in the middle, so I kind of had to turn it this way to put the season's greetings in. And then I kind of finished the edges. I thought, you know, that's kind of pretty for maybe that's a good box top or something. So that is one example. And then here's my fall example. So we're going to go ahead, and I think I'm going to do the fall example. If we have time, maybe I'll do both examples. I'm going to take my Stamparatus, and I have a foam mat. You can get this in the catalog. It kind of helps to give your photopolymer stamps some added height, so that the distance between your plate and your photopolymer stamps will meet your paper. That's just simply the idea. I just have a piece of 6x6 cardstock, and I'm going to start out with the 2 stamp sets I'm going to use are going to be the Beautiful Autumn and the Gather Together. The piece I love from the Gather Together is going to be this piece of I think it's kind of like wheat. And let me go ahead and move these aside, because this is going to be my sample right here. So let me move this. Now the colors I've chosen for this is going to be Bumblebee. I'm using Bumblebee. I'm going to use Cajun Craze. I'm going to use Early Espresso and Crumb Cake. And then I'm going to use some, and let me find it. It's going to be my mint macaron. And where did my mint macaron go? I know I had it here somewhere. Ah, here it is. Mint macaron. Okay. The reason why I pick these colors is because these colors will coordinate with the DSP. That way you can make a card, or you can make a large crafting project, and your colors will coordinate with your background paper. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I want to do is I want to basically put that against the corner of my Stamparatus, and I'm going to lay down where I want my stamp. And I'm going to want my stamp right there, and to pick it up. And I'm just going to kind of, what we're going to do is we're going to walk this, well, we're not going to walk it around. We're going to move the paper around. Okay. That's how easy it is. So let's go ahead and let's say I want the beginning of my wreath to be right there, okay? And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pick up my stamp. hold down my paper, and now I'm going to get my bumblebee ink, and I'm just going to ink it up. I've got a little piece of cloth here because I want to make sure that I wipe my plate down. Okay, I'm just going to turn it 300 or 90 degrees. There you go. There is your wreath and your sentiment, and you can, there it is. Isn't that pretty? That is, I think that is a great idea. Now, let me show you both of them side by side. So this one's on Very Vanilla, and this one's on Whisper White. Okay. Look at how, depending on how close you place your stamps, you can create a very tight wreath. I didn't use as many stamps here. I used more stamps here to kind of fill in some of these gaps because my stamps were much farther apart. And I was just kind of playing with it. Like I said, like here, I kind of underestimated. I didn't really align that correctly, so you can see how my pine cone kind of went into that wreath. But then you can see how nice everything came out here when I kind of worked it rather carefully all the way around. So you can build the wreath out, or you can bring it in. So now let's try. Here's my Christmas one that I did, and the colors that I did for this are, I used Old Olive, I used Shaded Spruce, I have my Early Espresso for my pine cone, and then I have Cherry Cobbler for my red. Now, let me open up this one. Now this is Peaceful Bows, or Peaceful Boughs, and this is in the catalog. And it comes with some really fantastic, I love this set because you can cut these out and you can actually create a wreath 3D. But since this is rubber, or the rubber, I don't need this set. I think I can go ahead and I think I can do it like that. Yeah. Okay, I might put this one down here just to make sure. All right, now I use both pieces, but I think instead of this great big piece, I think I'm going to go, because here are the different stamps for the boughs. And based on the size of my paper, I think I'm going to put this one back. And that's the one that I used here. It really took up a lot of room, but I want to try something different with you tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this one. I'm going to start out here and I'm going to pick this up. And we're just going to go ahead and go around with the shaded spruce. Let's say we just want to add a little bit of fun. You can always, let's see what it would look like if we layered on top of this right here. All right, let's see if we layered on top of that some gold. Let's see what would happen. I'm just going to layer some gold, a gold bow now over our, so you can kind of see how it's going to glimmer. So I'm just basically just stamping with my gold. Look at that. That kind of fills in the empty spaces without being too and if I wanted to, I could do it this way too. So let's do it this way. And one more over here. And there we go. Now, there is a product that is called Shimmer Crystal Effects. So if I pull this in, I want to show you how pretty this is. Look at this. I've done just the two colors, and then I added the gold. You can look at that. Isn't that pretty? So you can use the Crystal Shimmer Effects and do your little red pieces, or, and you know, in the new catalog, they do have some very pretty gems. There's red rhinestones. I could add those to this, and I can now take this. This is my sentiment, and let's see. Look at that. That's going to fit perfectly right there. All right, so let me just make sure that's in there nicely. And I am going to do that with, I think I'm going to do it with just simply black. I just want to have it just stand out very simply. I could even do this in Versamark if I wanted my, my sentiment to be stamped in gold. And I'm just going to, and it's not quite dark enough, so I'm going to, because this is a Stamparatus, I can always go back over my ink and look at that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So there you are. There is a Christmas technique, a Christmas fall technique for how you can put together some wonderful wreaths using your Stamparatus and your and I was featuring both the peaceful boughs and the gather together and Beautiful Autumn. And I will have these on my blog so you can take a look at them. I'll put together some kind of card, but I just think those are just absolutely gorgeous. I love how this came out. Look at that. That just came out so pretty. I really look at the just glimmers. I mean, the gold just really sets that off. So can you imagine making a card like this? It would be, you know, a 6x6 card, but it would just be absolutely beautiful. What a beautiful card. Or you could frame this and give it as a gift to your neighbor or to a friend. That's a great idea.